What's good? What's good? Welcome to this live presentation. The topic is embrace pain and suffering for faster growth. All right. There's different ways to accomplish your goals, right? There's different ways to go about it, but I took on the relentless beast mode, hustle, action. Like, that's the path I took. I decided that if I'm gonna, achieve my goals, if I'm gonna make shit happen, I need to like exert that energy. I need to be committed. I need to be 110%. I need to go at it as much as I can. And so I would take a lot of action, okay? But when I just started doing this, what would happen is I would take action and then I would meet some kind of challenge or some kind of obstacle or something like that. And I would assume that maybe this is going to lead to failure, or maybe this is something I'm not supposed to do because it's not going how I thought it would go. Like, I'm taking a lot of action, but I run into some obstacle, some block, something that's holding me back, right? Maybe it's some emotional block, maybe it's some limiting belief, maybe it's just some challenge, some adversity, something I never dealt with before. And when I just started taking action, I would get into this thing what they call shiny object syndrome. So I would do something for like a short period of time, but then when the next shiny object, the next better thing would show up, I would go into it because I would run into some kind of block, something that would kind of demotivate me, right? But after going through that, what they call the shiny object syndrome, I'm just using that term because I think it's kind of funny, but I get what they mean. It's like you every time you see something that looks better or looks easier, you jump off one boat and go on another boat. Got to jump off one train, go on another train. But after a while, when you keep doing that and you see that you're not getting anywhere, at some point you start to realize, man, I need to do something differently here. And so one of the things that I started doing is I started when I would take on a venture, or I would set a goal, or I would get into a business, or I would work on my game, or my ability to pick up women, or whatever it was. I started to realize that when you go after something, there's going to be discomfort, right? Because you're getting outside of your comfort zone. You're doing something that you've probably never done before, and you're having experiences you never experienced before, and it's uncomfortable. It's not gonna feel good. You're gonna run into blocks. Your limiting beliefs are gonna show up. Past trauma is gonna show up. These things are gonna show up, and they're gonna cause pain. It's not going to feel good. It's gonna cause pain. It's gonna cause suffering. But what I've learned is when you go through that pain, when you go through that suffering, you grow as a man. That's how you build character. That's how you evolve. That's how you become the person that can achieve the goal. You see, that goal that you want, there's a certain beingness you have to become to achieve that goal, to manifest that goal. And I realized after doing the shiny object syndrome and getting tired of like going in circles, I decided to stick with one thing and just go after it. And I realized, you know, pain is a part of the process. Suffering is a part of the process. Disappointment is a part of the process. Like, you're going to have these obstacles that are going to come up. A lot of it's going to be internal stuff. A lot of it's going to be limiting beliefs. A lot of it's going to be emotional blocks. A lot of it's going to be, these things that you've these identity traits that you've taken on to protect yourself over the years. Becoming this new version of yourself, you're gonna have to let go a lot of that shit. That old identity you cannot bring that old identity into the new condition. You have to change. You have to take on a new identity. You have to become a new beingness. And by going through pain and adversity and suffering, that's how you develop this new beingness, right? Think about when you work out. This is a perfect example. When you work out, when you exercise, right? It's painful. You got to lift weights. That your muscle gets sore. It's painful. You're like, fuck. You got to lift the muscle or the push-ups or whatever it is. But when you go through that pain and you go through that struggle, you get stronger. You build muscles. You become a better version of yourself. You become this new beingness. You grow, right? And the longer you're able to stick and go through that pain and go through that suffering, the greater character you're going to build. the more you're going to evolve, the higher the probability of you becoming that version of yourself you want to become. And it's so I basically decided that I wanted to take on pain and suffering and become friends with it, right? Learn to embrace it. Learn to become stronger than the pain. Become stronger than the suffering. Become stronger than the adversity, right? Like when we talk about, I'm going to switch into the subject of picking up women, right? There's different ways to attract women. Like you can take the route of, okay, let me see if I can become better looking, right? You can take that route. You can take the route of, let me see if I can bring up my status. That's another route. Let me see if I can bring up my income. That's another route, right? Looks, money, status. But there's also this other route. This is the route that I took. The route of, let me see if I can become more grounded in my masculinity. Now, what does that mean? Let me see if I can develop a character that can handle feminine energy, right? Because when you go and approach a woman, essentially, if you're going to pick her up, what you're doing is you're saying, okay, I want to be your man, essentially, right? And I want you to be my woman. Now, if you want to be her man, you have to actually be able to handle her, meaning handle her energy, handle her dark side, handle, life. Can you handle, because if you can't handle life, you're not going to be able to handle her life, right? So that's what I'm saying. You got to be grounded in your masculinity. You need to go through these tough times. You need to have these challenges, go through suffering, go through pain, go through these things. So then when you approach the woman, you can approach her with confidence. Like, look, I'm a man that can handle life. I'm a man that's on his purpose. I'm a man that's doing my shit, right? And I can handle you, okay? Do you want to be a part of what I'm doing? Do you want to be a part of my vision? Do you want to be a part of my life, right? By going through pain, by going through suffering, you develop yourself into the kind of man, you develop your value. You develop your value as a man, right? And your value around your character, your beingness, right? You develop, what do you stand for? By going through life and having these different experiences and challenges, you start to create your character. You start to see what you like, what you don't like, what you're about, what you're not about, what you stand for, what you don't stand for. And this is what a man is. A man is an energy, and then you want to ground that energy. Okay, you want to ground that energy, meaning the beingness that you are, the character that you are, the player that you are in this game. You're not breaking that character. You're not breaking out of that playerness or whatever you want to, however you see yourself. You maintain that frame. You maintain that character. When a woman challenges you or anyone challenges you, you stay true to your character. And so if you think about it, like, when you approach a woman, they'll shit test you, right? They'll test you to see, are you really the person that you're demonstrating you are, right? And that's all a shit test is. And so you pass the shit test by maintaining character, by maintaining your beingness, by staying in your frame and not breaking. Okay? And the same thing with life. When life challenges you, when life throws, uncomfortable situations at you and gives you, adversity, you have to demonstrate to life how bad you want to achieve your goal, how bad you want to be successful. And you do that through going through the pain, going through the suffering, because you're basically communicating to the universe like, look how bad I want this. I'm willing to go through this shit. I'm willing to go through these tough challenges. I'm willing to put myself on the line. I'm willing to look stupid. I'm willing to make mistakes because this is how bad I want to achieve the goal. And you're putting that energy out into the universe, right? And it will come back to you. The universe will reward you because you're giving, right? You're giving. It's the law of exchange. You give and then you shall receive, right? But you don't know when you're going to receive, right? So all you got to do is just do your part. Keep putting out that energy. Keep going towards your goal. You know what I mean? Yes, there's going to be challenges. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. Yes, you're going to run into different situations that, maybe are not ideal, but that's how you become the beingness that you need to be to achieve the goal. It's a certain beingness you need to take on. It's a certain character you need to become. And by going through pain, by going through suffering, you strengthen that character, and you become more attractive because you become more grounded in who you are, right? And as you're moving towards your goal, that's masculine energy. You moving forward, you being proactive, you taking action, you pushing through challenges. That's masculine energy. And the groundedness is the part of you that's able to handle the tension. It's the part of you that is you being able to handle the challenges, handle the problems, handle the obstacles, whatever. Because you're saying, look, I can handle this shit. I'm a man. Like, that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm not supposed to, like, oh shit, this is too hard, or oh shit, let me see if I can get some help. What I ain't even gonna say getting help, there's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is, like, see if you can handle this shit. You know what I mean? Like, go at it as much as you can. And then if it's too much, then yeah, go and get support. But one of the things I was talking about in the other video is, like, dudes will have questions too soon, right? Like, go and take action. Go and put yourself out there. Go and try what you're trying to do first. Then when you run into some obstacles, if you have questions, go and ask questions. Yeah, that's part of the game. But you lead from the front. Don't wait for somebody to come and give you a handout. Don't wait for somebody to say, here it is, or, you know what I mean? You take action. You put yourself out there, because you got to demonstrate how bad you want your goal, how bad you want to grow, how bad you want to evolve. If you want to get a certain type of girl, you got to put that energy out there. You know what I mean? And let the universe know, look, this is the type of girl I want, and I'm willing to do whatever I got to do. So you start growing as a man. You start putting yourself out there. You start learning different things. Okay, I think I need to work on my style a little bit. Maybe I need to work on my communication. You know what? Maybe I need to, learn how to be a better listener. Maybe you're not listening, right? So you're not really hearing what the woman's saying, or you're not really, getting the information or the knowledge that you need to expand your awareness and expand your understanding. You know what I mean? So it's just understanding, like, when you're going through pain and suffering, like, if you're moving towards a goal, you're taking action, and you're finding yourself going through difficult times, just know that that's how you grow. That's how you develop your strength as a character. That's how you demonstrate your courage. You know? That's how you become more grounded. You become more grounded through going through shit, by having experiences, by having good experiences and bad experiences, right? By bad experiences, I mean experiences that are tough to deal with, right? Not easy. Not everyone could go through that, but that's where you get that confidence from, right? You want to be confident with women, you got to go and put yourself out there. You got to go out there and, yeah, get rejected, and, yeah, have some awkward situations, and, yeah, make some mistakes, and take responsibility for it. Don't blame the girl when shit doesn't go right. Don't blame anybody. Like, just take responsibility, because if you don't take responsibility, you can't really grow or learn from the situation, because you're saying, oh, it's their fault. So then, okay, let me move on. No, see what you could have done better. You know, so next time when you get in that situation, you handle it better. Like, that's what being grounded is going through these different experiences, you know what I mean? And learning from these experiences, so when the situation happens again, you handle it as a grounded masculine man, right? That's why a woman will test you. She wants to see, like, have you been living? Like, can you handle life? Like, have you actually seen another girl before? Have you interacted with other girls? Have you had, you know what I mean? Because if you ain't had no experience with no girls, she knows you're not gonna be able to handle her, right? Like, you're gonna probably just, fumble your way through the relationship, and, like, she ain't got time for that. You know what I mean? She ain't got time for that. She already dealt with that before. She looking for a man to step up and lead, a man to step up and be grounded in his masculinity, a man to step up and express himself and be genuine, and be, another part to it is being vulnerable. This is another part. When you're going through the pain and suffering, it's gonna require you to be vulnerable, right? And that's why, a lot of people, they don't go to that next level. They don't take it that far. They don't take it to that level of greatness, because they don't want to get vulnerable like that. Because when you get vulnerable, you're opening yourself up to judgment. You're opening yourself up to rejection. You're opening yourself up to being hated, to being ridiculed, to being made fun of, all this different shit. But when you put yourself out there and you go through this shit, and you allow yourself to be vulnerable and make mistakes and and possibly, do the wrong thing or whatever. But being open and knowing, okay, this is what I got to go through to become the person I need to be to achieve my goals. You know what I mean? Like, just straight up, like, just having that understanding. Like, yo, the pain and the suffering is part of the game. And if you run away from it, it will keep coming back. What you resist persists. You can run, but you can't hide. You try to run away from pain and suffering, it's going to come back at times when you don't want it to come back, right? It's just going to hit you. It's better for you to go and face it. Go and look for it. Like when you started, if you're starting a new business or you're getting back into the dating world or whatever you're doing, just know, there's probably going to be a little struggle you're going to have to go through. You're probably going to have to make some mistakes, something, you're going to have to go through some shit, but that's just what it is. You know what I mean? That's just part of the game. And you need to, like, understand what's going on. When you're going through that pain, when you're going through that struggle, you are growing. It's not a sign for you to give up. It's not a sign for you to deviate. It's not a sign for you to change your direction. It's a sign for you to understand this is your opportunity to grow. This is the opportunity for you to turn into a beast. This is the opportunity for you to evolve into that man that you really want to be. You know what I mean? So it's just understanding, okay, pain and suffering is not something to run away from. It is a part of life, and you just want to reframe it. Reframe it. When you're going through it, you're growing. Okay? That's the reframe. Right? Seeing it in a positive way. Instead of seeing it as a negative thing to run away from, see it as an opportunity. This is an opportunity for me to grow. Okay? It's not going to be easy. It's not going to feel pleasant or whatever. But when I get through this, when I get through this, I will be a stronger man. I will be a more powerful man. I will be a wiser, right? I will have more understanding. I will increase my awareness. You will benefit from going through the pain. When things are easy and things are nice and things are simple, there's not much growth in those times. Those times are great, and you should appreciate at those times, of course. But you're not gonna grow as much as when you're going through that pain, when you're going through that tough time. Think about it. Every time you go through some tough shit, you go through adversity, when you come out of it, you come out more strong, you come out more wiser. Okay? Assuming that you didn't just blame the situation or blame everybody and try to, assuming that you take some responsibility, right? It's not easy to do. It's not easy to take responsibility for shit, but there's always something you can learn from every single experience you have in life. And that's the mentality I have taken. And that has allowed me to grow as a man. Okay? And so I just continue to maintain this philosophy of embracing pain, embracing suffering. Literally, as soon as I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do, right after I listen, because I listen to affirmations for about 5 to 10 minutes, right after I do that, the first thing I do is work out. Why? Because I want to face pain. I want to face suffering right away. I want to let the universe know I'm not running from this shit. I'm not running from this pain. I'm not running from this suffering. My goal is to be stronger than the pain, stronger than the suffering. Okay? I challenge pain. I challenge suffering. I'm looking for it. I'm seeking it out so I can go and handle it on my terms. I don't want that shit just coming at me randomly, trying to fuck with my day. No, I go after it and handle it. And then when it comes, I've already handled it throughout my day. So when it comes, I'm just like, oh, you're back again? Okay. And then I go at it. But it's a different mentality. This is something that, you want to work your way up and just start seeing it. Start being aware. Like when you find yourself in a tough time, instead of what you call it? Instead of getting down on yourself, why me? Why is this happening to me? Or, whatever. Instead of getting down on yourself or getting negative about the shit, just say, okay, this is a challenge. Let's go. I'm ready. There's nothing I can't handle, right? Think about it. If you're still alive right now, that means everything that has happened in your life, you've handled it. So everything else that comes after, that's coming in the future, you can handle it. But you gotta take on this belief, right? We had these limiting beliefs of, oh, I'm not good enough, oh, I can't handle this. No, 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 no. Switch those beliefs. Start to see the truth. The truth is, if you have been alive for this many years, that means you've overcome many challenges within those years, within that time period. So what makes you think you can't handle what's coming up next? Of course you can handle it. Or what's happening right now? Of course you can handle it. Right? You just gotta get in that state of mind. Like, yo, stop being the prey. Like, decide to be the predator. Decide, okay, there's a challenge. Well, I'm challenging the challenge. Right? There's a problem. Well, I'm gonna bring a problem to the problem. Right? So in a sense, what I'm saying is you want to out-create or outvalue, or, you know what I mean? Like, see yourself as bigger than the problem. See yourself as bigger than the pain. See yourself as bigger than the challenge, right? When something's painful, I'm like, yes, let's go, right? And when I'm doing my push-ups in the morning, my one-arm push-ups, why am I doing one-arm push-ups? I could do two-arm push-ups, one-arm push-ups, because I want to face the pain. I want to face the challenge, and I want to handle that shit. Because what does that do? That goes into my mind. I'm the type of man that handles pain. I'm the type of man that is not afraid of pain. I'm the type of man that's not afraid of suffering. So when the pain and the suffering shows up, I'm confident in it because I'm literally handling it every single day, consciously. I'm not waiting for some shit to happen. I'm going after it. I'm looking for the next challenge. I'm looking for the suffering. All right? So, yo, if you're a man, you're watching this, and you want to become more grounded in your masculinity, you want to become more confident, more powerful, more able to express yourself authentically, more of a leader, I'm going to put a link to my group. It's called the Sexy Beast Tribe. It's all about becoming more grounded in your masculinity. It's all about becoming more authentic in your expression and more of a leader. And this will turn you into a beast and a sexy beast, because these are attractive qualities, right? You become more grounded in your masculinity. You become more able to express yourself authentically and more of a leader. You become more attractive, guaranteed, right? I guarantee if you amplify these three areas, you'll become more attractive to women, right? And the more you amplify them, the more you'll be more attractive you become. And not just to women, you become attractive to everyone. All right? So thanks for watching. I'll leave a link to the Sexy Beast Tribe in the comments. Join me in the group. Peace.